What is going on, guys? Biggles1 here, bringing you something completely different. In case you haven't spotted the big title in the top right corner, this is Defcon, and it is by far one of my favourite games of all time. Introversion software, you make epic games, keep doing it. I have come up with something. I couldn't find anyone else who's done something similar to this, but I have come up with an idea of having a Defcon AI championships in which I will get the computer to play against itself in Defcon, just like in the film War Games, which it is based on, and we will see which ones come out on top. There's going to be 3 stages. Stage 1 has 2 games, each with 3 continents playing against each other, and basically the one who has the least points or loses in the most in that one gets kicked out. And then the 4 continents that survive go on to the next stage, where they will then play against the continent that they haven't already played against. And of course, the 2 top players from that will then go on to the final, and we'll find out which continent has the best nuclear weapons. Hint, hint, it may not be America. But we're going to have to find that out. So, in today's lineup, in the red corner, we have South America and Mexico. Sitting quite comfortably down there with that big chunk of Pacific Ocean. In the green corner we have Africa in that lovely green colour, with a nice control over the middle of the map. However, they may be flanked very easily. And in the blue corner we have Russia, once one of the most powerful countries in the world, still a big player. Let's see if they can match it up against these other 2 we got here. So pre-match thinking, I'm probably going to think there's going to be a massive fight in the Atlantic, and there'll probably be a few ship clashes in the Pacific as well, where I'm expecting Russia to shove everything, because Russia never really seems to put any troops up in the top of the map up there. But I'm expecting a big conflict down here, and I'm expecting South America to get owned in the Pacific. As to what happens when the missiles start flying, who knows what's going to happen, but we'll just have to watch and find out. So without further ado, let's get this match going in 3, 2, 1, and go. Okay, so we're starting off here. They're all placing down their radars, common standard tactics, and there goes down their missiles and their ships. The AI is exceptionally fast at playing all this. Let's just shift the map over slightly. There we go, that's better. So, as you can see, I think Russia's put a lot more troops into the northern Atlantic than I would have expected. They've put 2 groups in there of carriers, submarines, and battleships. However, the majority of their navy is still in the Pacific. And there seems to be quite a lot of troops in the Pacific as well from South America. I think at the end of this, Africa is going to be owning the Atlantic. The Pacific, however, is going to be a bit of a tough fight. In fact, South America seems to be leaving the Pacific. And they've reached Defcon 3, and the missiles are flying. African... what is it, submarine group is heading across the Atlantic. Maybe they'll get caught in the crossfire. The Russians are still trying to pave their way across everything. It's really much a fight just across the middle of the Atlantic at the moment. Sending out scout planes to try and attack their ships. Oh, we're down to Defcon 2. This game goes very quickly at high speed. Now they're starting to use the air bases. You can see that air base in Northern Africa, sending out those planes, trying to take out their ships. Africa also sending planes from their carriers, trying to scout out the coastline, spot where all their installations are. Russia's still not doing very much. They are very much out of the picture for this one. Quite strange. But I'm sure once they get into the fight, they will certainly be making an impact. And we're down to Defcon 1. Nukes are now enabled, and it's just a matter of who is going to start throwing the first stones. The South Americans seem to have got some submarines off the African coast. However, there are planes in the air, and they may not last very long. Russia still trundling down across the Atlantic and the Pacific. However, they are getting a bit close to Mexico, so we may start seeing some bombers flying across there. From my perspective, it looks like there is just still fighter jets going across. Oh, no! We have launches detected. We have we have an African missile launch from their submarines, and they seem to be launching bombers as well. South America also, again, launching bombers towards them. Oh, we have some impacts. First impacts of the game are on South America. Ow, that does not look good. Brasilia has been hit. That is not good for them at all. Oh, my God. Oh, they've lost a silo as well. That's going to hit them hard later on. Radar systems are going down. That is a well-executed surprise attack by Africa. Russia launching some planes over to try and find out what's going on, and they've launched bombers as well. However, they are getting taken down pretty effectively by those missile silos in Mexico. They have more. Oh, they have bomber launches coming from the west side of the Atlantic, and Russian bomber planes are being shot out of the sky over the mid-Atlantic. It is not looking pretty at the moment, with Africa in the lead at the moment. Russia still have lost all of their bombers there now, all across the Atlantic. But at the moment, it seems to be fairly. It seems to be South America's coming off worse at the moment. They have the Africans attacking from one side and the Russians from the other. However, I think Russia may sneak in the back of this one. Oh, Russia seems to have scored some hits there, 15 points. Interesting how this may turn. It could turn any moment. However, I think South America has lost. How many have they got? 1, 2, 3. They have 4 silos, so they have lost 2 silos already. That's not going to help them out later on at all. Russia and Africa obviously still got full silos. So this game is going on. Nobody has tried launching from their silos yet. It's just been submarines and bombers so far. I tend to find when the AI plays these games, they all tend to launch their silos at about the same time. We will see, obviously from our perspective, when they start launching, because we can see everything. We are like gods to this planet, watching these puny humans destroy themselves. Anyway, as we're moving across, the Navy battles actually seem to be quite tied. I think the Russians have taken control of the Pacific Ocean. And we have Russian submarine launches off the coast of Mexico. However, those missile silos are taking them down very quickly. What have we got? The Atlantic seems to be owned by the Africans in the north, but in the south, those are all, there we go, those Navy fleets and missile. Oh my goodness, everything is happening at once. We have silo launches, we've got submarine launches. Everything is going on now. Everyone is shooting at everyone. This is going to be a bloodbath. Russian missiles going off in both directions. It seems the Russians are mostly aiming at South America. Oh my good lord, look at all of those mushroom clouds. Well, they're not really mushroom clouds, but you know what I mean. And the first hits on Russia is Moscow, 13.2 million dead. Very sorry for them. Those missiles coming out of Mexico and South America. Look at them all fly across the map. It's very majestic the way they do that. At the moment, Africa is still in the lead. However, they are taking heavy hits and Russia is gaining points quickly. And Russia is now in the lead. The points have shifted. Russia's in the lead, with South America catching up. Oh my goodness, it's shifting all over the place. Africa's back in the lead. There are missile trails all over the place. This is ridiculous. The silos should be nearly empty by now. What have we got? We got there's ships in the South Atlantic still going at it. Russian ships in the Pacific still heading off. This is a very, very confusing game. More silos being destroyed. Airbase is destroyed. Lima's been hit. More things I can't pronounce. Sao Paulo. Where are the most of the missiles? Most of the missiles are actually still over Siberia and Alaska at the moment. Oh, there we go. The Russian missiles are coming down now. As are the South American missiles. Africa's points have shot ahead. I think this may be a victory for Africa. I may have been wrong about my predictions with Russia. Seems the Africans may have secured themselves a place. Oh, here we go. South Americans launching their submarines. What have we got? Wow. I have to say South America looks very devastated. There doesn't seem to be much left. In fact, there doesn't seem to be much left of anyone. But hey, it's global thermonuclear war. What are you going to say? So some Russian missile defences seem to be remaining. They seem to have a couple of silos left. And their missiles are still coming down. So we've only got 35 minutes of in-game time remaining, which is obviously sped up. So that's going to go down fairly quickly. What have we got here? So it actually seems that Africa is actually fairly intact in terms of missile defense. South America has been completely ravaged, and Russia's got a sizable deterrent still left. It's basically just going to be picking each other off now for the last few minutes. There we go. There's that last missile coming down from Russia. So I'm fairly certain this game doesn't really have much left to go for it now. We'll just wait for the timer to finish and count the total scores at the end. that was a very, very hectic game. It was one moment there was nothing, the next minute there's missiles flying all across the map. But that tends to be what happens when you get the AI to play against itself. Just as a note, I really should have said this at the beginning, but this game was played on the standard generic modes with default point scoring and everything. The next round is also going to be standard general gameplay, and the final round is going to be a bit more interesting. I'm going to tell you about that when we actually get to the finals. So what we are, we're at the 2 hour 44 mark almost. Yeah, there we are. So nearly 3 hours of in-game time, and it's drawing to a close now, with only 7 minutes left on the timer clock. Have to admit, nobody's actually taking complete control of the oceans. The Russians are still sending some ships off, but they aren't going to get there in time to make any difference. Everyone's just sort of, oh my goodness, there's a radar being hit in Africa. There's like a last-ditch attempt to get a hit there. Good hit by Russia. And there goes the clock, and it's game over. And victory goes to Africa, second place to Russia, and unfortunately last place goes to South America. So that puts South America out of the competition. And it means that Russia and Africa are going to be going on to the semi-finals. No idea who they'll be facing next, but next episode is going to be America, Europe, and and Asia. South and Central Asia are going to be fighting against each other to find out who gets the other two places for the semi-finals. I hope you've enjoyed this, is what is essentially a shoutcast of Defcon AI playing against itself, and let the championships commence. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you soon, and don't forget to like, comment, favourite, and subscribe. See ya.